We must stop the terror. Now watch this drive.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are happy to be here with you. As always, upcoming tour dates. May 22nd in New Glasgow. We have a secret location. We're going to get to that later. May 23rd, Halifax is still a go. May 29th in Lacombe. Sold to the bone. You missed out. Should have got your tickets. Morinville on June 5th. Limited tickets left on that. June 6th and 7th. In Kelowna, BC, tickets are going fast, limited left there. Then we head out to Saskatchewan, June 12th in Churchbridge, Saskatchewan, June 13th in Bean flicking the bean. We're going to flick the bean and Bean Fate in Saskatchewan. June 14th in Yorkton, and then we are back in Calgary, June 15th. All together, June 20th and 21st in Niagara Falls, Ontario, July 20th in Bloomington, Minnesota, July 20th in, I just read that, August 10th in Phoenix, Arizona, the St. John's show in Newfoundland has been canceled. I don't know why I have that up there. October 11th in Toronto, Ontario, October 17th in Berwyn, October 18th in Grand Prairie, Alberta, and November 8th in Sydney, Nova Scotia has been canceled. December 5th in Red Deer, Alberta. Those are all the shows currently on the books right now. DangerCatShop.com for all your tickets. Also, head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/DangerCat69 if you would like to support this show. We could sure use it. We're losing shows. Head on over for the cost of a beer a month. You can support the Uncle Hack podcast. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't you feel good about yourself? You know, many people feel good arming soldiers in the Ukraine where you can fulfill the dream of a moron by, giving me your hard-earned money and getting an exclusive episode every week on the Patreon. Oh, and we have fun on the Patreon, don't we, folks? Huh? Don't we? We have fun on the Patreon. We do. We have a great time. And like I said, having a great time. People are not having a good time out in Halifax right now. We have the gravy swim team, the gravy dip team going bananas right now. Something in common that I've noticed is obese people. I think once you get obese, the idea and people are going to be like, this is punching down humor. This is what I do. Okay. You think I punch up? No, everybody, these hands are non-binary. They get everybody, they and them. These hands is non-binary. But that's what they say. They say I'm punching down, but I think I'm just noticing. And I notice something about the fatty boombatties, as Tim Dillon would say, is once you hit a certain weight limit, I think the idea of fitness is out the window and you need to attach yourself to some social issue that no one's really subscribing to. No one really cares. Like the working class doesn't really give a shit about, but you have to make this a part of your identity because, you see fitness people, they make that a part of their identity and they kind of leave everybody alone about it. They post about it. They're not going out in the streets and being like, we need to have a treadmill in every goddamn Starbucks. They don't do that, right? Because nobody would take them serious because they can just go walk outside, right? They know that their issue is in a certain location. They go to a gym and they participate in their hobby. Now, once you get obese, it's very hard to, maneuver and get around. So what do? You attach yourself to some social issue that you can parade around on social media rather than doing anything productive in your community. You're just a nuisance. You're annoying. And a lot of people, I think, are becoming very privy to this. But yes, out in Halifax, Nova Scotia, we're going to throw some people under the bus today, I think, because I'm tired of some stuff, okay? I'm having a good day. I'm having a great week. Personally, I'm feeling quite well. I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling rested. You could probably tell by the the abundance of energy that I'm bringing to the pod today. We're bringing a new energy to the pod. We're positive. I shoved a crystal up my hoo-ha and I meditated towards the moon and I feel rejuvenated. I am a new being. I am a sphere of positivity and I exist on this plane to bring joy and laughter to others. And that is the purpose of this podcast. But in the meantime, while we're doing that, some people are going to get their, some people they got to be the brunt of a joke. That's how this has to go. I'm sorry. Some people got to be the brunt of the joke. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's other people. We just don't know who it's going to be. And today, it just so happens to be the obese people out in Nova Scotia. They are very upset that your boy is coming out. And, I do have a phone call that I have to release this week. I've got a phone call with the Premier of Nova Scotia. He called me. And it was... I ignored the phone call. He left a voicemail, so I'll be putting that on social media, so be sure to tune into that. But he has some concerns about me coming out there. He has a lot of concerns about me coming out there. And, and on top of that, you got to deal with the business owners. And here, you know what? I'm just going to make a point here quick. One thing I do have an issue with is you free speech people. Okay, you people that come out and you parade around this idea that you're all for freedom of speech and you have no problem about us coming to your venue, and then the heat gets turned up just a little bit. This is nothing, really. Like from what I've experienced in the past year, this is very, very low scale stuff. Is just noise on the internet. It's comment sections, and for some reason in Canada, we are not where the States are when it comes to the comment sections. Like a lot of people could give a shit about the comment sections and these review bombs, that take place when I come to town. And it's deeply upsetting when I have to hear from these individuals that, look, no problem. Come on through. We're going to stand strong. We're going to stand against it. I can't stand this cancel culture. And that's what they do. They go, cancel culture. And it's like, just listen, I don't care. Do you want me to do the show or not? I'm not real. This battle. I was talking with, I was on a Twitter space last night with Wogpog. I suggest if you don't follow him on Twitter, give him a good follow. He runs great spaces and invites me in, but we are having a discussion about this. And it's like, one individual brought up being like, well, why don't you just go full nuclear and start throwing some hard R's around on the internet and give them, and just like, kind of wear those jackets. It's like, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to just have a bit of a good time. I want to bring people together. And then you say that on the internet, and then all of a sudden you have fucking every fatty, he said the N-word. Like we're in a weird time right now as it is. We have a black Nazi. We all heard the Kanye song. It's been circulating now. It's touching everybody's eardrums. We know what the words are. You can sing along. You can sing along. He found 20 black guys to sing that chorus. 20 black people to sing that chorus. Well, 19 because I was in there as well, but I was in full blackface. I just want my IMDb credit and I'll be fine, so I can put it on my visa for when I apply for citizenship down to be involved more in the entertainment industry in the United States of America. That's all I'm asking. Kanye was like, I'll give you 20 grand. And I was like, just put me in the IMDb credits. I'm fine. Like you can spray paint me. And how I did it is I just loaded up a shotgun with black paint and I used my toe so I could simulate a suicide attempt. And I shot myself in the face with black paint. And I went in there and I was like singing the chorus with everybody. It was very beautiful. It was like I felt united with those. And like, these individuals out in Halifax are screaming like, the Nazis coming to town. And it's like, yeah, I guess now because I was in Kanye West's music video. So I didn't do myself any favors by doing something very silly. Very, very silly. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking more so about personal and selfish reasons. So that way I could, probably further the chance of getting citizenship down there in the United States of America. And now I'm just playing into the hands of these people and I'm giving them exactly what they want. Like a buffoon, like an idiot. I just fell right into their trap. They kept screaming it, Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. And I was just like, well, fuck, I guess I got to go with Kanye and do the music video. Because that's what he's like. He's like, I'm looking for black Nazis. And I said, hey, my last name is Black Queer. Is that close enough? And he goes, that's close enough. Come on in. We're actually short one guy and you seem to be the fit. Are you able and willing to do blackface? And I said, not a problem. Not a problem. That is zero issue. I'm just happy to be a part of the project. But that's what these folks are screaming out there is that, and I got to bring up some photo evidence, unfortunately, and put this all to shame of what these people have been screaming about. This is very serious stuff that we are getting involved in now. And a lot of people see, they go around and they say these things about me. And I have to defend myself now, I have to come out and I got to defend myself. It's very nauseating when you got to do this and you got to be like, listen, I'm not a fascist, okay? I'm not a fascist. In fact, here is a photo of myself and a Jewish rabbi in a New York synagogue shortly after the raids took place in said synagogue. This guy was kind enough to take me in those tunnels. I got a deep look into how the underground tunnel system works in New York, and this guy was very kind to do so. In fact, I think I was a bit of a fall guy here. Looking back, I think I'm a bit of a fall guy, and here he is. He looks like he's a little taken back. He doesn't know what's happening here. The camera came out, and I love the camera, so I strike a pose, deuces up, and I'm a little shocked myself. The flash got me and I'm like, oh shit, oh boy. But I was already posing and then it started to settle in what was taking place. So here I am in the middle of this synagogue that's getting raided like a dumbass. And this guy's probably trying to pin it on me, but I want you to know that I am deeply associated with the Jewish community down in New York City. I want you guys to know that. So that way, when these slander attempts come up, that that from my heart that it doesn't come from they're coming from a very evil place and trying to make me out to be an evil monster when in fact I am, as you can see right here, very involved with the Jewish community down in New York City. I see the articles and the quotes that they use from the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, and it's deeply, it's appalling. It really is. Because, I have images like this that I've been sitting on, and do I share it? Do I not? And then I got to put this out and be like, guys, look, I hate to break it to you, but I'm not the fascist. And it sucks because, you use a word like this guy's, if the left is calling you these things, it's a great way to tour the country and it helps you with the visa application down to the United States of America. But now I have to be honest with my audience. And that's unfortunate because usually I sit on here and I lie. I lie and I lie and I lie. Over and over and over again, I just feed your heads full of lies, and now I got to come clean about something like this, and a lot of people are probably going to be upset. I'm probably going to lose listeners because of this, because all these folks that come here, they're like, hey, we want to hear you read Mein Kampf, and I'm like, this shit, I can't. I got to avoid it. I got to make excuses for it, and I lie some more, and I get caught in these lies, and now I got to come out and I got to do this. This is very, very hurtful stuff that they're doing to people like myself, going out and throwing all these false allegations around. And then I got to come and defend myself and look like a fool here, because I've been living this lie now for about 2-3 years of these folks telling me that I'm a quote unquote Nazi. And now I got to, it's upsetting, but we did get an article. We love articles. We do love the articles. This is great. Let's get into it, folks. This is what the show's all about, isn't it? We love to see what the media says about us. Now, the Chronicle Herald out in Atlantic Canada, specifically the Nova Scotia region, came out with this. Headline reads, Halifax bar cancels comedy show because of content. Wrote by Ian Fairclough. On May 12th, 2025, a Halifax bar canceled an act booked for later this month after an intense and negative backlash from the public. Now, when they say that, they mean online. The Oasis Bar had booked the Danger Cats comedy group for May 23rd, but opponents described their material in many ways, including controversial, hateful, and bigoted. Oh, boy. That's not a nice thing to say about somebody. On April 30th, the bar reposted a Facebook post. So now we're talking April 30th, they had posted this, and this is how fat and lazy everybody is out on the East Coast. I don't know if the internet is working, but Elon, if you're listening, I know you are. The people in Nova Scotia need better internet. This was posted on April 30th, and it took them almost 2 weeks to get up to speed. So I think that Elon, you need to get a satellite dish over Canada and beam down some high-speed internet so these people can get up to speed. Took them that long. We are now, what's the date today? May 14th? What's today? Who knows? Who cares, right? And it took them until May 12th to get their act in order and start a campaign. And that's sad. It's not only is their internet slow, but them as human beings are slow themselves. And that upsets me because maybe is this a reflection of the education system? Is this a reflection of the able body not being able to get to the location that they need? You know, are they lacking internet? You know, were they waiting for the pokey check to go and, put a payment down on the high-speed internet so that way they're able to, connect to the world and cause a conundrum again? What was going on? I need to know. Anyways, April 30th, the bar reposted a Facebook post from one of the group's members that originally made on April 22nd. It's on Sunday. This is journalism now. Let's keep this in mind. Let's break this down. This is journalism in Canada. There is so much more you could be reporting on, but now what journalism is and wants to be is like a reaction channel on YouTube, except in the written form. That's all this is. This should be a clip show. All the media organizations in this country have plummeted so far that they are now reacting to what is taking place on the internet. Not reality. This is a story. Somebody was paid to write this story. Keep this in mind as we talk about this. This is big news, is that a comedy act is coming to town and people are upset about it on the internet. Keep that in mind as we read through this, okay? On Sunday and Monday, it seemed that the post was noticed and reaction was not kind, with multiple people saying they would no longer frequent the business. What a threat. It was also the reaction on a thread on Reddit. There you go. Now we're getting to the juicy stuff. Some of the comments include links to online articles about the group, including one that mentioned it had made a t-shirt referencing the victims of British Columbia serial killer Robert Pickton. Nope, did not do that either. Other posts talked about the group's connection to Diagolon, a Canadian group linked to right-wing extremism. Their website for the Canadian Anti-Hate Network has a post that claims on their podcast, Danger Cats members have claimed that, I'm going to try and get through this without laughing, have claimed that a porn operation was a Jewish psyop. If you're an OG of the podcast, you remember this episode, and we went on about how that lady sat in the back of that bang bus with the Star of David necklace, and she said that she doesn't cook or clean, she only sucks dick, and that was it was a Jewish psyop to make you think that ladies are only sucking guys off to keep you weak, and then no testosterone in the body. It was a big episode, and I recommend that you go back and listen to that because we took a deep dive, didn't we, folks? We took a deep dive into that nasty stuff. And we were trying to, make young men a little more aware. We're trying to make them aware that all you're doing is sitting around punching your clown, playing these goddamn video games, and this might be a little bit of a psyop happening behind the scenes. Jesus Christ. Imagine writing that in a series, man. Like, first off, when you have to go Danger Cats members, right there is where you got to, like, once you type that, you got to go to the bathroom, splash cold water in your face, look in the mirror. You got to look at yourself and say, what the fuck am I doing? Danger Cats? Danger Cats. These guys, they're grown men and they call themselves Danger Cats. And they're making claims that a porn operation was a Jewish psyop. And then it goes on. Members of the trio have also complained about losing comedy opportunities in favor of trans and gay women. Yes, because there's many trans and gay women that are trying to attempt to do what we're doing. Every time I go out in the streets, I see these gay women. I see gay women waving around a cheetah print flag, being like, "Go for a rip, are you, bud?" I can't. I'm sorry, I can't get through this. The fact to see a trans woman pack a dip and be like, "Fucking lip dinner, buddy," would be the end all be all of my existence. I would pack it in. If there is a trans woman out there that wants to pack a dip outside of a pump jack and just be like, "Fucking, how you doing there, buddy?" My job is over. I got to hang it up. No more comedy. No more comedy. That means they've entered my sphere. They're taking what was rightfully mine. We used to be a proper country. Anyways, onward. It also says one of the members has used social media to share Holocaust denial memes, referring himself as racist, and images which accuse 2S LGBT plus people of diddling kids. What are you trying to make me look cool? This is so absurd. Brian Atkinson, the manager of Oasis, said Monday that the bar was aware of the backlash and the owners were talking to the booking agency. On Monday, Shoebox Cantina in New Glasgow announced on its Facebook page that it was canceling a Danger Cat show booked there for May 22nd. New location also. The booking was made through our standard review process. At the time, we were aware that the performers had an edgy and provocative style, which is not uncommon in the comedy space. However, further information has since come to our attention regarding the group's associations and the nature of some of their content, the post said. After careful consideration, we have decided not to proceed with the event in order to remain aligned with our venue's values and the kind of community environment we strive to foster. The statement was the exact same as the Oasis posted on its Facebook page Monday evening announcing its cancellation. The group is also booked to perform at Daniel's Ale House and Eatery. And see, I like when they do that at the end. I know what they're attempting to do is, like, when somebody reads this, they know, like, it's a bit of what the left would call a dog whistle. The left would call that a dog whistle, because now, the people that would read an article like this and would be outraged, then they would feel compelled to now email Daniel's Ale House and Eatery in Sydney. But good on them. I'm glad you're getting your clicks. We're getting ours as well off of this. And, and let's rewind it back up. The statement that was the exact same that Oasis. This is what I'm saying. Like, what is going on the East Coast? What is happening? Last episode, I was giving you your flowers, specifically to New Brunswick. New Brunswick, I think, has it out there, might have it figured out a little bit, maybe just a little from what I've gathered out that way. But now you head on over to Nova Scotia, and it just is a cesspool of God knows what's going on out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a cesspool of laziness. Everybody's lazy. Nobody's going down to the venue, and at least in Hamilton, some people like got up off their ass and went down there and were starting to finger wag a little bit at managers at some of these locations that we were booked at, you know, the one bar and also the comedy club. People were going down and waving their fingers, where these fat assholes don't even have the audacity to go down there and wave a finger. They're so lazy that even the venue that canceled us in Halifax reposted the same cancellation statement from the other venue that isn't even connected to them. What is going on? Is this the laziness of Nova Scotia coming to me and just blasting one right in my face? Is that what's happening here? Am I being punked? Where are you, Ashton Kutcher? Get out of the bushes. Pop out, you fucking... What was he going down? He was going down for something. Anyways, but that is what's a little bit irritating here, folks, about the East Coast. Is like you know that these AI apps exist. You know they exist. Why didn't you just take what their statement and say, hey, can you make something similar to this? That would have been like 3 clicks. You would have had to like highlight their statement, drag it on over or copy it and then paste it into ChatGPT, click another button and just say, hey, can you rewrite this so I can post it as well? But you didn't. You copy and pasted it and put it on the same page. The laziness is just, it is disturbing. It disgusts me. It disgusts me. If you want to cancel me, at least give me the pleasure of pretending that you rewrote this. But instead you copy and paste it. That deeply hurts my feelings. Is that you wouldn't even give me the time of day to write up something genuine, something from the heart. You copy and paste it. That is, and this is one of those folks that was giving me the whole spiel about free speech. I got the free speech. We're staying strong. We're not going to fold. And 50 emails. I was like, we got 50 emails and phone calls. This is why I haven't. This is my gripe. This is my issue that I have with the pro free speech people. Is like you say you're pro free speech until it comes knocking at your door, and then some speech that you don't like appears, and you got to allow yourself to remove your ego and think to yourself, well, they're allowed to say that, just like I'm allowed to say the things that I'm saying, right? If you're an absolute free speech advocate, you don't get to sit and pick and choose your battles. That's what annoys me about this sometimes, is the folks that are loudest about the free speech are also the ones that are trying to censor. And I'm not applying this to them. I'm just saying in a broad generalization here is when this is what I've noticed is anybody that comes to me about this, oh yeah, buddy, don't worry, we're free speech. And like, oh, great. You're going to fold like a cheap tent. You are not what you say you are. And that is deeply where this is where I will give left-leaning people their flowers as well, is that they are so delusional that they wholeheartedly believe some of these talking points that they have, you know, like, and you even use me as a case study, is they parade around the idea is like, oh, this guy is everywhere he goes, he's got a fucking cross burning, and I know he's got a hood on. I've seen the people that go to his shows. It is absolutely disgusting. These guys all get together and it's just 90 minutes of just racism, bigotry, and oh God, I cannot believe it would exist. They wholeheartedly believe that the intent of us traveling to these places to tell these jokes is to somehow persuade people that the Fourth Reich is coming in the form of a punchline. You know, like that's just what they believe. And I almost respect that a little more because they actually buy into that. They buy into it wholeheartedly, where I noticed right-leaning people that they say things that they truly don't mean their stand behind. You know, like I get like, oh, I'm trying to run a business and blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to save face. But in the end, when we come through, now you're losing patrons to that we're going to come to your venue and spend money to appease people that haven't visited your location. I see comments. I was reading comments. I'm a big comment reader. I like reading comments. I know they say don't read the comments, but I do. And they were like, I haven't been here in 10 years, and now I certainly won't be back. You haven't been there in a decade. And then what? All of a sudden now you're like, I haven't been here in 10 years. I went to go there and I went to go to karaoke night. And you can guarantee I'll never be back. You haven't been back in a decade. You haven't even decided in the past 10 years. And now all of a sudden you're making a stance and be like, I haven't been there in 10 years, but now I'm certainly not going. What? Enough. Stop trying to make this about you. You know, that's the problem with everybody. Everybody wants to make some issue like this and attach themselves. Something a little about me is I haven't been there in almost a decade, and I guarantee you I will not be back. Wow, thanks for your input. Oh, thank God. Oh, if we didn't know that. If we didn't know that you haven't been here in 10 years and you aren't going to come back now. Oh, God. I was losing sleep. I was wondering where you were. This whole time, I was thinking to myself, where's that pig that can sing? Boy, oh boy, she would come down here and butcher Sheryl Crow songs. What's she up to? I've been sitting here scratching my head for 10 years, and now you finally pop up in my comment section and be like, oh, you're not coming back. Oh, God, I'm gonna need a Xanax to get to sleep tonight. Knowing that slob isn't going to come down here and drag her snail across the stage and try and sing fucking Madonna tunes. What are we ever going to do? Oh. It annoys me, is what I'm trying to say, folks. That's all I'm trying to say. But it's looking good. And, you know, we got to bring that up. Oh, I didn't put the link. But we move on to another issue out in Nova. Where was this again? Here we go. Speaking on Nova Scotia, you know, this is what we're dealing with out here, folks. This is one of the funniest things that has come out of Nova Scotia in the past, I want to say 20 years. This had me in stitches. I was laughing so hard. Now, what we have here, okay, headline. Here we go, headline. We have a headline for you. RCMP puts land African Nova Scotia acknowledgement before missing kids. Kids are missing. Rescue efforts. Excuse me. I need a sip of water here before we get into this. Rescue efforts press conference overshadowed by Dalhousie University's Cultural Imperialism Initiative. On Wednesday, now this was May 9th, on Wednesday, what should have been a timely update from the RCMP on the situation of two children who went missing from their home in Pictou County on May 2nd, Lily Sullivan, who's 6 years old, and Jack Sullivan, who is 4, began rather awkwardly. After stepping to the microphone and introducing herself, RCMP Provincial Public Information Officer Constable Carly McCann delivered not one but two acknowledgements, reading them both quickly and nervously. First, I acknowledge that we are in Micmac, the traditional and unceded ancestral territory of the Micmac people. Micmaci? I don't know what the fuck. She continued, I also recognize that the African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Micmaci, known as Nova Scotia, for over 400 years. Where is it? What is happening? Two kids are out in the forest. You know what would have been funnier if, know what the police officer should have said? If you're going to do this, you got to go all the way. I'm going to redo it. I'm going to redo it. What this bitch should have done. Okay? this. If you're going to go this far, go the extra step. Now, here we go. Hit the cue. 3, 2, 1. First, I acknowledge that these white settlers are lost in Mi'kmaqi territory, the traditional and unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. And as a colonizer myself, I hope to God a pack of wild wolves rip these children apart for the racism that they exude and the space that they take up on the Mi'kmaq people's land. I also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people, unlike those two honkies lost out in the bush, whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kmaqi, known as Nova Scotia. Unlike those two crackers that are wandering around on unceded and traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq people. All right? We are putting minimal effort in to find these children, seeing as they are settlers on this land. And we'd also like to recognize that for over 400 years, we have abided by the racist constitutions of this nation. And we have no further information of the location of where the children are. My name is Carly McCann, Constable Carly McCann. Good night. Was that hard? Was it that hard? Is this what we're doing? We're doing land acknowledgements for missing kids in the forest now? Is that how far we've gotten down the road? Is this how deep in the woods we are? Children are shivering out in the bushes, cold at night, surrounded by wildlife, making eerie noises in the evenings that echo throughout the forest. But we have to ensure that the feelings of the folks watching the press conference are taken care of first. We got to make sure that, hey, we're going to come out here and clear some smoke up quickly. Holy hell. The latter, moving on in the article, actually, you know what we're going to do is let's listen to this. I think we deserve as a community, as, you know, where is the clip? Here we go. We got to blame it on something. Holy shit.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Good afternoon. I am Corporal Carly McCann, Provincial Public Information
Corporal Carly McCann.
Officer for the Nova Scotia RCMP. Thank you all for being here today. Bonjour, je suis la caporale Carly McCann, agent d'information publique pour la GRC en Nouvelle-Écosse. Merci de votre présence aujourd'hui. First, I acknowledge that we are in Mi'kmaqi, the traditional and unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kmaqi known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years.
I'd also like to acknowledge that those kids are shivering on unceded and ancestral land of the Mi'kmaqi people. And I hope those little honkies die. Oh my God. So when you call 911 now, hello, 911. Hey, I've got an issue. There's a murderer in my house. First, we'd like to acknowledge that the murderer in your house is on unceded in ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaqi people. I butchered the name of it. That's how, woke I am. Throw me in jail. Oh my God. I can hear him. He's tiptoeing. I don't know what to do. What do I do? First off, we'd also like to acknowledge that the African Nova Scotian community has been here for 400 years. I can hear him loading a gun. He's loading a gun outside of the closet. I don't know what to do. Help me, please. Help me. We'd also like to recognize that the traditional lands are sacred to our indigenous peoples. Oh God, he's opening up the closet door. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Bang! We'd also like to recognize that we are on unceded. Oh God almighty, this shit is getting exhausting, isn't it? What is the purpose of this? Can somebody please, for the fucking life of me, I get it. It's like degrading. It's the erosion of actual Canadian history as well. And we're trying to ignore the country's past and go back to a place of being like, well, we're just trying to be apologetic a little bit. And it's like, what does this do? What does this do other than like everybody in there? You could see it on her face how uncomfortable. She knew. You could tell the moment she started reading that, oh my God, I'm going to be fucking destroyed online about this. I don't feel comfortable doing this. You can read her body language like a goddamn Captain Underpants novel. And I say it novel because those are the books I read, baby. But now this poor woman is the face of something so ridiculous, and she has to undergo the onslaught of the comment section. And we all know how serious we take the comment section, right? The latter was a whole new type of acknowledgement, not based on land but race, and a claim about the value of a specific race's enrichment of the province. The announcement seems to imply a sort of hierarchy of culture in Nova Scotia. The double acknowledgement was easily the most bizarre public relations performance I have ever seen. This is also a commentary piece. And I've worked in universities, and of course, that's where it appears to have come from. In this instance, Dalhousie University. Oh, yes. Oh, they had it right here for us. Let's...
For the Nova Scotia RCMP, thank you all for being here today. Bonjour, je suis la capitale Carly McCann, agent d'information publique pour la GRC en Nouvelle-Écosse. Merci de votre présence aujourd'hui. First, I acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the traditional and unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a...
Look at these fucking guys. All of them just have a dumb look on their face like, oh my God. This is what I did. I came here to like protect and serve. And I never thought it was going to be like this. I didn't know the protection was this. Look at the idiot to the right. Oh my God, he's just got this dumb look on his face. Like, you know when you say something really absurd and stupid to a group of friends and they shame you for it? This is the exact way we have to treat this, because it is so unnecessary. You are hosting a press conference about two missing children. Two young missing children. And now we are 30 seconds into this, and it's completely overshadowed now over a land acknowledgement that has taken place prior to the press conference that is supposed to be taking place about missing children. We're cooked. Chat, are we cooked? Chat. Hey, yo, chat, are we cooked? We're cooked. Put a fork in us. We're fucking cooked. The Mi'kmaq people.
Distinct people whose histories...
They definitely, they put her up to this. They're like, I'm not doing it. Do you imagine the background? What was happening in the background? You have to do this. You're the rookie on the squad. You have to do this. I'm not doing it. I'm going to stand here like a buffoon in the background. The old white guy, the captain, what it looks like, stands back there. Like, how long down before? Yeah, look, they did make her do that. And then...
Contributions have enriched.
They made the woman the fall girl.
Known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. Premièrement, je reconnais que nous nous trouvons aujourd'hui à Mi'kmaq, le territoire ancestral traditionnel et possédé du peuple Mi'kmaq. Je reconnais également que les néo-écossais constituent un peuple distinct dont l'histoire, l'héritage et les contributions ont enrichi
and do a land acknowledgement
sous le nom de la Nouvelle-Écosse depuis plus de 400 ans. At this time, I invite the following officers. Inspector Mike Ingles, District Policing Officer for Northeast Nova District RCMP. Staff Sergeant Curtis McCann, Pictou County District
You
Commander.
have got to be
Staff
shitting
Sergeant
me.
Hammond, Acting Officer in Charge of Major Crimes and Behavioral.
That's all they brought her in for. You have to do the land acknowledgement. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. They passed the buck to this woman. She had to be the fall girl on the land acknowledgement. And now not only are you going to hear about a DEI hire, because like, let's be honest, folks. You know, you kind of see, let's say something's happening to you. She shows up and you're like, oh, fuck. You know, like, hey, let's go to the murder situation in the closet. And then all of a sudden you hear a female's voice knock on the door. Nova Scotia RCMP, open up. And it's like, fuck. I'm dying no matter what today. I have I've got this. I'd imagine that it would probably be a male intruder inside your house. I'm going to go with that, you know. And you're stuck in the closet and you hear that. Nova Scotia RCMP. Nova Scotia RCMP. Open up, please. Oh, you know what? I'll just come out of the closet. Hey, brother. Do me in. What are you going to do? You going to kill me? You going to rape me? Get it over with. Get it over with. The best chance of you getting out of here, you know, I understand you got me at gunpoint right now. I'm not going to do anything. She's not going to do anything. If you're going to fuck me in my ass at gunpoint, can you allow me to put a little lotion on it at least? Something to lube up the back door? Because it's over. It's over. It's done. There's nothing I can do here. What am I going to win, a fucking bat? I have a better chance at wrestling you for that gun that you have pointed at my head that you're just going to fucking kill me with anyways. You know what I mean? Like, I take a leap at you. Bang, I'm done. She comes in. Ugh. Imagine being held hostage and you see a female officer pull up and you just come, you know what? Fucking shoot me. Just do it. Get it over with. This is not going to go anywhere. What's she going to do? What's she going to do? Shoot me? To shoot you? Shoot through me to get to you? She's not going to out wrestle you. Plus, you respect the opinion. I'd be in his ear. I'd be like, you respect it like that? You respect it? That's what they thought of you. That's what they thought of you. They didn't take this kidnapping or this holding someone hostage serious enough that they sent a female officer here. That's how little they think about the crime that you're doing right now. I'd be talking shit to the criminal. What am I going to do? Talk shit to the cop? That's going to get me nowhere. It's going to give me no, oh, great. Yeah, what are you going to do? Pull out your taser and think it's a gun? We've seen this before. And so I just look at the criminal and I'd start getting in his ear and be like, you know what? You're a pussy. You won't kill me. I'm going to die anyways. You're a pussy. And then, like, again, we got to go back to the point that they didn't take your crime serious enough to actually send somebody that could put up a fight. You know, you're getting away with this. Just kill me. Get it over with. So why are we prolonging this? More cops are probably going to be on their way. And I swear to God, if they send another female, boy, oh boy, they really don't take you serious. They said 2 female cops to come down here and try and solve this nonsense. They're looking at you like you're a fool. They're looking at you like you're a fool. That's what they think of you. They think so little of you. They sent 2, not 1, but 2 female officers over the crime that you're about to commit. Pathetic. Kill me. Bang, bang, bang. You're done. Oh, God, hear us. Let's end on a bang. Let's end this show on a bang. We have been having a wonderful time this go around, haven't we? I have had a blast with you today. I am feeling refreshed. I feel reformed. I feel, I got some things off my chest today. I've been living a lie this whole time. All these things that they've been calling me a Nazi, a racist, a anti-Semite, a transphobe, anti-trans, anti-gay, anti-immigration, xenophobic, what's another one? An ageist, sexist. After the last bit, I think we can still wear that jacket. I think I can still put on the sexist jacket, I think. Right? After that one. I mean, generally speaking, I think collectively, even the women that listen to this podcast, right? I think even the ladies, given the choice, okay, female or male cop showing up to whatever situation you're in, whatever scenario you paint in your head. Mine, it goes to extreme lengths of me hiding in a closet to avoid being, raped at gunpoint. And that's not good. That's where my head goes. And that's, another man has a gun and maybe it's a fantasy. Maybe it's not. That's for me to know. That's not for you to know. Okay. That's for me to know. That's my information that I get to fantasize about. And I close my eyes at night and I lather my palms up with the finest lotions that money can buy. And I stroke my cock to the idea that somebody one day might kick my front door in. I'll hide in the closet. And not only do I get fucked in my chili ring, but they kill me right after. And my legacy ends with that. And you'll forget everything that I've ever done in terms of comedy, social media, clothing manufacturing. You forget it all and you remember me as the danger cat guy that got butt fucked before he was murdered because a female police officer showed up and he couldn't stop talking shit. Just fuck me in the ass while she watches. Let's traumatize her. Fuck me in the ass, shoot me in the back of the head while you're deep inside my guts. Why don't you? Because you won't do it. You're scared. You're scared the female officer is going to take you out. Come on. But anyways, we got a little deep in the woods there. That was all jokes, folks. It was all jokes. I don't wish that upon anybody. I don't want anybody to ever go through such scenarios, but it does happen. Now, this is big stuff, folks. This is huge stuff, okay? We have an update from Jan Arden. Now, unfortunately, she has blocked me on Twitter, so I don't get the opportunity to see any of her tweets anymore, and that is unfortunate because I used to make fun of her quite often, and we haven't seen anything from Jan Arden in quite some time. But now she feels emboldened to go on social media and give her hot take about Alberta wanting to separate. And you know what? There's only one opinion that we take very serious on this podcast. And it's the woman that wrote the smash hit Invincible back in the early 90s. Has not been relevant in the music scene for quite some time. A Canadian national treasure who is delusional and protecting the horses. If there is somebody that we need to know her opinion, or if there's somebody whose opinion who needs to be heard, it is none other than Jan Arden, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. We have missed you. We are glad you are here. We just need to shut the fuck up and let her do her thing because, when old Jan gets hot on TikTok, there's no better fucking TikTok account. That's what you want. You want a fat woman who paints her eyebrows and does her mascara with a paintball gun, giving her hot take on politics. That's what we want. We want some washed up music star in the Canadian scene. Many don't know her outside of this country. Some know her from her being on morning television, but we know her for making the points that need to be heard. And we will give you a platform here, Jan, because I am not a bigot. All that sexist stuff that I was saying earlier, it was all a joke. We are about to take what you're saying very serious on this show right now. My apologies. Rewind.
Hey, Alberta.
Hey,
a
Jan.
bunch of fucking separatist wackos. How you doing? Feeling good about yourselves?
Feeling excellent, actually. I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. I recently changed my diet up. I've added creatine, if I'm being honest. I've been adding creatine, getting in the gym. I've been lifting. So now, like, the creatine is now, helping water stay, like, my water weight is up. So I'm feeling a little bloated. I don't like that, but I get that it's like a little bit of a bulk, but I really appreciate you asking. How are you?
Embarrassment to this country. Yourselves, you're an embarrassment to this country. Everything you
Some would say we are feeling very invincible.
have, everything that you have enjoyed, cherished, and benefited from comes from being part of one of the greatest countries on the planet. You guys have your heads so far up your asses that you obviously can't see what pricks you are. The way you are treating Indigenous people, the way you are treating your fellow citizens, your fellow Canadians, you guys are a bunch of creepy little pricks.
Oh.
Alberta will never separate from Canada. It's never going to happen because people like me are going to stand up, throw their...
You stand up? This is breaking news on the Uncle Hack podcast. Jan Arden stands up. Everybody, gather around. We have breaking news. Jan Arden is standing up. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say. This has caught me at a very odd time. This is our moment where, George Bush was sitting in that classroom reading to those children, and that FBI agent comes and whispers in his ear that a second plane has hit the towers. That's this. I am flabbergasted. It's Jan Arden is standing up. Oh, thank the Lord.
shoulders back and keep fucking yelling. And keep standing up for what I know is right.
Yes.
And what you guys are doing is...
Lost for words, even herself. Jan Arden. Let's go back and hear that one more time.
Your fellow citizens, your fellow Canadians, you guys are a bunch of creepy little pricks.
Thank you.
Alberta will never separate from Canada. It's never going to happen because people like me are going to stand up, throw their shoulders back, and keep fucking yelling.
Oh, God.
And keep standing up for what I know is right.
This segment has been brought to you by Ozempic. Are you having trouble with weight loss? Do you feel unsatisfied with your body type right now? Well, we present to you a product that has the ability to get to that goal weight. You've struggled for quite some years to keep the weight off, haven't you? You have, haven't you? And deep down inside, you're very insecure about your body type. And when you go out in public, people look at you with disgust in their eyes as you try to enjoy a snack, whether it's a delicious dessert from a local bakery. And now you can. Call your doctor today and ask them about Ozempic.
And what you guys are doing is...
You can even hear her cousins in the background. You hear that?
You guys have your heads so far up your asses that you obviously can't see what pricks you are. The way you are treating Indigenous people, the way you are treating your fellow.
You hear that? In the background? Cousins are there. You ever tell your family just to shut the hell up while you're trying to record something as important as this, Jan? As important as this message right here, before you recorded that and you put it out on the internet, didn't you think to tell your family in the background to maybe pipe down a little bit? Unreal. Get a studio. You were a recording artist at one time and now you're filming in a fucking ravine? Is that what you're doing? You're filming out in a fucking ravine with your cousins having a family reunion in the background? The audacity of you. You know, we once held you to a high standard, pumping out hit after hit that was constantly pushed to radio stations because of the CRTC, and we've made a celebrity out of somebody that should not be one. But thankfully, the Canadian government put some standards in place that we got to have a certain percentage of Canadian content on the radio so people like you can have a career. Because if that didn't happen, we wouldn't have this piece of history to play for you on the podcast today. So I want to say thank you to the Canadian government for doing something like that. I want to say thank you to the CRTC for regulating all news, all radio, all television to ensure someone like this, a national hero that is standing up. She is standing up, folks. What is she doing when she's standing up? She's rolling her shoulders back and screaming while her cousins are in the background squawking, unfortunately. But she is rolling her shoulders back and screaming. And it wouldn't have happened if the CRTC didn't make it mandatory for a certain percentage of Canadian content to be on their fucking radio stations. And to that, I say thank you. I say thank you. Because without the Canadian government, again, we wouldn't have this piece of internet history to present to you. Absolutely beautiful. And I want to thank you for listening to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. If you want to send a voice note into the show, by all means do so. We would love to hear from you. unclehack@dangercats.tv. Make the subject line, you email me, unclehack@dangercats.tv, with the subject line, Cat's Corner. That's what we're going to call it, the Cat's Corner. Record a voice note. We'll play it on the show and email it in. And talk about whatever you want, your relationship, your feelings. You can get something off your chest. You can give praise to somebody. Bring up whatever you want. If there's a hot take that you have, by all means, share it with us. On the Cat's Corner, we'll play it on this show, and we'll give our, take on top of that. And if you'd love to support the show, we would appreciate it very much. Head on over to patreon.com/dangercat69. All the links are down in the bio down below. Great way to support the show. Shows. We're trying to book some new stuff. Hopefully get out east. We're trying. We're putting our best foot forward to get the jokes, the tariff-free jokes from Alberta out to somewhere like the Atlantic. You know, it would be lovely to be out in those areas and bring people together for laughter, but we got shit going on. People are upset. But yes, support the show. Patreon.com/DangerCat69. Link down below. Tickets available at DangerCatShop.com as well as merch. And we will see you next week. Good night, everybody.